Hello, I'm Jake, aka HamStuff, and today is the 25th of June, meaning that it's my birthday. I'm now 27. Well, 12 months or 365 days of a life I don't really know what I'm doing with. Probably should have worked things out by now, and what I want to do. One thing I do know is I should probably update you on my social medias. I have a little thing in all my No Man's Sky videos saying that there's links in the description, which I am updating gradually. But when they are updating, this is what they will take you to. Obviously, YouTube. Quite possibly my main social media. Believe it or not, I post videos. This may well be the first video you've ever seen of mine. Hello, welcome, if that is the case. I do gaming videos at present, mostly No Man's Sky. I'm doing a series on it. My next most active social media, Twitter. My Twitter is at Jake HamStuff. I also have a link to other social medias. All the links does not work. But Twitter is mostly where I post links to my videos and other stuff that's on my mind. I quite like volcanoes. And apparently my Tumblr also posts on my Twitter. Tumblr's quite similar in how I use that. On there, I'm also called Jake HamStuff. In my bio, it says I make height quality, mostly space-based content. Height quality. What is height quality? I'm tall. I have height. Is that what it means? Or maybe I'm an idiot and made a typo. But here I've been back posting, sort of posting my content from the beginning, since a year ago, almost, by the time of filming. Twice as often, or as meant to be, as I upload, and also other things which, looking through it, cats! You could definitely expect cats on my Tumblr. And if I scroll through this very lengthy post, I have no doubt I will find something about Loki. And there's some GIFs, GIFs, whatever you want to call them. Unless you want to call them GIFs. Don't do that. From Thor, Ragnarok. And my Facebook page is called YouTube HamStuff, which apparently has 18 likes despite the fact I've never invited a living soul to it. Yeah, I'm also back posting videos from a year ago, and still continuing. But not just videos from a year ago. It's not this what I posted a year ago. The aim is to catch up with the content I'm posting on my channel now. I'm going to take the smallest break to fan myself. So as I drink my tea and do other stuff in this B-roll I recorded later, one consistent thing in my life is that I've quite often been an idiot. And one of the most idiotic things I've done recently is entirely forget about Instagram. Not that I forgot to post. I just, once again reminding you, this is a heat wave. This is why I'm gently fanning myself. I forgot to include it in this video. but I post selfies and my YouTube thumbnails and a link to the videos and other things I find, like this dragonfly in my garden. But do thumbnails and telling people about my new videos. As well as the time I met Spider-Man. If you search up my real life name, which I'm not going to tell you, you'll have to work that out. Congratulations on having at least 3 brain cells if you manage it. I think I had a MySpace many moons ago. But it's been many moons since I've last used it. I don't really know what else to do with my social medias other than my thoughts on stuff, my content. As for life, I do have a couple of ideas. Continue YouTube, try to grow my channel, focus exclusively on that. I've decided what series I'm going to do after No Man's Sky, and there will definitely be shorter episodes. Which should help me with the editing. Although, as I film this, I'm currently not filming. It is too hot today. We're in the middle of a heat wave. Because we're on lockdown due to the Rona. That's why there's a heat wave. Because we can't go out in it. So, in my wise, grand old wisdom, or 27 years of age, what do I plan to do with it? University. I studied biomedical science a few years ago, which, if you know what that is, no one else does either because it's not really a thing. It's a hodgepodge of biology, chemistry, biochemistry, thrown in together, and you basically pay several £1,000 a year with someone to. The frame rate of this video will be 60 FPS. That's a lower frame rate than this bloody PowerPoint in every goddamn lecture. I quite enjoyed science at school, and biomedical science sounded cool, so that's why I did that. I may go back into study. I don't remember the exact name of the course, but I think it was physical geography, which most might call geology. That may be a different thing. There are 2 courses with a similar name. One is about global warming. Why would I want to study that? Either the experts are wrong, and I'm not studying anything accurate, or the experts are right, and I'll probably need a snorkel for my final few lectures, because the university is quite close to a river. I just predicted global warming. I've been to the year 3000, not much has changed, but we live underwater. That's what happens when you melt the ice caps. Maybe they caused it. But the reason I want to study physical geography, which I think was the name of the course I'm thinking of, is partly because I liked geography when I was at school. I still find earthquakes, landslides, mountain ranges, and especially volcanoes quite interesting. I've been obsessed with volcanoes for as long as I can remember, and the only parts of geography I ever liked are the actual geography ones. I don't care how the economy of Japan recovered because Japanese auto manufacturers use a just-in-time ordering system, meaning if you need a part for your car tomorrow, you'll arrange for it to arrive today, meaning in the event of a disaster, you'd lose less. That is quite interesting. But it's taken me, 10 seconds to say everything about it? There's just half of geography isn't geography. Like we did tourism in Japan. People go to Japan as tourists. What a staggering revelation to learn. That has basically bugger all to do with actual geography, but the course I'm looking up, so I'm still going to call physical geography because I think that's what it's called, is about that and does include stuff on volcanoes, like a term, or perhaps as American, I think the best term, and I'm known to use an Americanism, a semester, as the Americans call it. That may be the worst American accent that everyone has ever attempted to do. Because I would quite like to work in the field of volcanology. We've all seen the dramatic images from Kilauea's 2018 eruption. It's the first time I really knew volcanology was a job you could do. I knew there were volcanoes in the world, and I didn't know it was people's job to monitor them. They're the actual volcanological observatories. Given how much I'm baking and boiling and sweating today, I'm not sure if Hawaii Volcano Observatory would be the best place to work, but that is one option. Or I keep wobbling my laptop table and it's wobbling the camera. Sorry about that. I've been talking to Tina Neal recently over email. Former scientist in charge at Hawaii Volcano Observatory has now gone back to Alaska. Maybe I'll keep in touch with her. Maybe in a couple of years there'll be an opening at Alaska. Assuming I'd want to work there, it's very cold. And although the volcanoes are usually doing something, they're quite remote and far away from anywhere. I don't just want to look at some scribbles on a graph and think, oh, that must be an eruption. I want to see it. I want to be there. And HBO is right on top of what was the most active volcano in the world. It hasn't erupted since September of the year before last. But of course, that volcano is on the side of Mauna Loa, the largest volcano on Earth. In fact, there is so much material in Mauna Loa. So let's break it up into chunks and boulders and gravel and grind it down to sand. It would fill the entire Grand Canyon all the way to the top. And then again. And then again. And 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 again. Right to the very, very top. And once for all for luck. It's so massive it depresses the crust beneath it. Part of the reason why it's the second tallest mountain on Earth. Suck it, Everest. Its neighbour, Mauna Kea, being a mere 38 metres taller, is the tallest volcano on Earth. And has not erupted since 2,000 years before Common Era. So we're quite confident it's not going up anytime soon, which is why people keep building telescopes on it. But that, of course, has made people very angry. You may have heard of Pele, one of the Hawaiian volcano goddesses and gods. The Hawaiian religion/mythology is one of the reasons people are quite angry about telescopes. But that's not what this video is about, and it's something I know very little about. But I'll give them this. I may be very scientific and focus more on the real than the mythological aspects of volcanoes. I don't think the 30 meters telescope is a great idea to study the cosmos, because the most exciting thing we'll find isn't what we're looking for. It's what we don't know that we'll find. They say it's the last one that's ever going to be built, so you might not know why people are angry about it. I don't either, but I'll give them this. Their volcanoes are realer than Jesus. And someone wanted to build a giant telescope slap bang in the middle of Bethlehem, some people would have a fair bit to say about it. At the time of filming, Grimsvotn in Iceland may be building to an eruption. I doubt I'll get to see it because lockdown. Probably be similar, or albeit smaller in scale, than the Eyjafjallajökull eruption in 2010. You may or may not have heard of Bardabunga, the largest area of lava, largest volcanic field, lava field, for horror, the largest outpouring of lava in recorded human history. That happened in 2015. And I would love to be able to see it. So as I muck about with my hair in this B-roll footage I used earlier, well, I used part of it, I've had a couple of other ideas while editing the video. One idea might be to get a haircut. A museum. I could definitely see myself working, let's say, in the Natural History Museum. I know they've got a thing of volcanoes. I have no idea what I'd actually do. But yeah, maybe I'll be spending my day talking about volcanoes. Seems like the sort of thing I'd enjoy. Or another idea entirely, photography. There's a hairdresser somewhere down the road from me that are asking for models. Well, I think I look better behind the camera than in front of it. And the people look better in front of a camera than behind it. Well, somebody's got to take those photos. I could do that. Take pictures of people, or pets, or anything they want. A wedding photographer. But she's chronically unreliable. I suppose there's places on the interweb I could learn photography. I think I'm fairly decent at it myself already, so I could probably learn more on my own. But it's quite evident I don't really know what direction to take my life in, which is why I made the video to begin with. Well, I think that concludes things. Like, subscribe, and I will do my best to remember to put the links to my social medias in the description.